Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Once you settle on your seat, let your palms rest and drop the eyes and then gently bring the eyelids down. Take a few breathing cycles just to settle first in the seat. And to drop slowly the attention towards the center of your heart. Sometimes it takes a little while, so perhaps first your mind is more attuned to the sounds that are happening in your room or outside the room or any noises that are happening. It's okay, let that happen. And if you're picking up the noises, the sounds or things from outside, just give yourself a moment to do that. And then slowly, it's kind of like shifting, right? Focusing from that outside towards slowly moving into the sounds that are coming from your own body. So we are shifting the attention inward. And as we enter this practice, we truly give ourselves this gift of a pause throughout your day to come to yourself and slowly start paying attention to where is the breath that you are taking in going the most within yourself. And also paying attention as you release that energy, the sensations in your physical body. Now, usually in our regular daily life, so this one is not really the regular, but in the regular daily lives, we are mostly very attentive to what's happening in the front of our bodies. It's like the way we are driven, right? Everything goes from the front out to the world. And we give little or perhaps less attention to our back. Now that we are not able to practice together, more so because we are in videos and doing a practice that needs us to be facing each other mainly, it's even more so that we tend to lose a little bit of that attention or that intention into the back body. So today, as we enter the practice and we are already sinking in, I want you to try and bring your attention into your back body as well. So as you breathe the next few cycles, give yourself the opportunity to almost, it's like if you are leaning back and you're finding that support. The back plane of the body, the back chain represents the unconditional support. So perhaps you can think as you're breathing into the back body of anything that represents for you or makes you visualize that unconditional support. For some of us, it may be a family member, someone who is no longer with us. Perhaps it's just nature, a tree, a wall, maybe a guru, a teacher. And that visual perhaps can help you connect to that backside. So as you keep that attention tuning in, maybe you think of the lower back and let it expand. Perhaps the mid back moving up the back of your body. Maybe a little further up into the back of the chest and the back of the head. And in these trying times, today, the intention and the opportunity to recognize that unconditional support, to sometimes lean back and realize that that figure that maybe we visualize can be always a source to anchor and feel that support in times we need it the most. We'll bring now the palms towards your kidneys. So just let the palms touch the lower back and give yourself a few moments here to breathe into that place. Perhaps you can physically feel how the skin expands into your palms, into your fingers, just for a few moments. And also how that support helps you lift the spine, lengthening through the crown of the head with the chin gently off the chest. And that support that we feel as we are expanding the skin, it's also helping us open up the front. Maybe you feel it in your solar plexus, in your abdomen, keeping the face soft, the skin melting. Stay with the hands, one more breath. And then you'll choose one palm to stay there in your kidneys, in the lower back, and the other one will come up behind your skull, whichever naturally goes there. And you'll rest the back of your skull into that hand. And now see if you can notice both areas where you are supporting yourself to again create that lift, that opening, and the sensation and visual of that unconditional support. Breathing a few times into those two areas and noticing how leaning into those two is also helping expansion, freedom in the front. One last breath, keeping your attention in your breath, in your body, even so it's usual to get lost. Just find yourself back to your breath and then slowly release both palms, bringing them back into your lap. And before we move more, notice the memory, the sensation in the back of your head and your kidneys, the lower back, as you let go of the palms, but almost like if the palms are still there, holding you and supporting you. Perhaps you can feel it in the temperature, behind the head, or just the sensation, tactile sensation as you breathe in and out. A reminder that we always have the chance to find ourselves back when we get lost into the outside world, to return to this gift and opportunity to be with our own bodies, with our own breath. Keeping the spine tall, bringing the palms together into the heart center, softening the shoulders, shoulder blades down the back, keeping that reminder of the support behind you. We'll open the practice with the Om sound. If you choose to join me, inhaling deeply through the nose, big exhale through your mouth, then breathing in again. Then we connect gently the head down to the hands and the heart, skin soft. Releasing slowly through the palms down to the lap, lifting the head and opening the eyes. Welcome everyone again. Thank you for practicing with me. Let's start by coming onto our backs, but we're going to do a few exercises that I think it will be good if you have a blanket to just extend it all the way on top of your mat, okay? So you can just cover your mat with that blanket that you have. And if it's longer than your mat, like I said in some other classes, you can always like put the end of your blanket underneath the mat on one end or the other end, okay? And then we're going to come onto our backs. So just lie down like if you were coming into Shavasana for a moment. Again, we're going to try and just create this connection of our brain into the back plane of the body, releasing and noticing the support that we have underneath or beneath ourselves. So let your skull rest and expand into your blanket. Let the shoulders drop, the arms, the upper back, the hips, the legs, the sensations of your heels, perhaps your knees, and your feet, releasing there. Just take a few breaths here. And if you can, you slowly start lengthening and smoothing the nasal breathing, just for a couple of breaths. Softening the skin in the face. Remember that the support in the back is helping us open up the front. So they are interconnected. And many times for postures where we want to move in higher ranges of motions or fancier openers, we need to work with the back, and we need to also recognize that the two of them, back and front, they are interconnected, like I said, and in need of each other. Okay, then slowly from here, what I'm going to change is just opening my arms to the sides. If you don't have a lot of space, you can just keep your arms like a cactus shape. And I'm going to bend my right knee and put my right foot on the mat. Pretty simple from here. And the only thing that I'm going to add to this, it's very gentle. We are starting to open up. So I'm going to let my right knee drop towards my left leg. And I'm going to also go towards the inner line of my right foot. You'll feel a lift in the lower back. And I'm going to let my head gently come towards the right. So it's a gentle twist. And then I'm going to slowly return towards the neutral. I'm not going to switch legs yet. We are going to do a few on this side. Again, letting that right knee, right leg drop towards your left leg and trying to relax the shoulders down, chin to the right. And then again, returning to the neutral. We'll add 3 more. Go slow. Pace your breath with the movement, going one side and then back. And 2 more, just adding a little bit of that sensation in the lower back, arching the shoulders, releasing down, the face staying soft. 1 more here. And then slowly returning. Good, once you're back to center, extend the right leg, drop it there, take a moment to breathe. At least 1 breath in between cycles of exercises and drills. Then we bend the left knee, putting the left foot on the mat. And now I'm going to go opposite. So I'm going to start slowly letting my left leg drop towards the right, extending a little bit maybe through my left arm, or just keeping the elbow bent but dropping that shoulder, coming back to center. Again, inhaling, slowly starting to add more movement into the back and return. Good, 3 more like these. Slowly going with your breath and back. No rush. We'll get as many postures as we can, but we want to really use each of the postures at the most capacity, in the sense of getting the most benefit that we can from each of them. So if we don't get to do all of the ones that I have in mind, we'll practice again another time and we'll get them in, okay? Good, then release the left leg, release here, drop everything down, one full breath. And then slowly I'm going to bend both knees and keeping my arms the same as they are, so the cactus shape. And now I'm going to let both knees drop to the left, again chin to the right, slowly coming back, and the other way. Slowly returning, stay in your breath, both knees to one side, chin to the opposite side, both knees coming back to center and going the other way. One more time each side, so slowly pressing or coming with both soles of the feet onto the mat and going the opposite way, lifting the lower back, feeling that gentle arch, back to center, and then beyond the last side, returning. Beautiful. From here, we are going to lace the fingers, bring your hands behind the skull, and very gently, we'll start with a breath for opening the spine. So it's like the cat-cow. Inhaling, I'm going to press my elbows down, arching a little bit more of the spine, lifting or sensing that sacrum moving different than being flat. And then slowly with the exhale, I'm pressing my back down and I'm just moving my elbows towards each other with a little bit of the stretch in the back of the neck and the head. And then again, inhaling, finding the arch, exhaling, slowly lengthening belly in and keeping a little bit of the upper back moving up. One more, inhale, feel that arch and the range of motion may be getting greater each time, exhaling, but I'm not forcing that to happen, okay? And then release. Now we are going to add a little more. When I'm doing the arch, I'm also going to send my chin a little further up, and I'm trying to coil and lift a little bit more through the back. And then with the exhale, I'm going a little further, bringing the chin in. And also, as I move in, I'm lifting a little bit of the tailbone into my body. And then again, inhaling, slowly sending the chin up towards the wall I have behind me. And then slowly returning, belly in, lifting a little more. One last repetition. Inhale, chin back, exhale, and lift. Good, now I'm going to change this again, but we keep the same shape. Inhaling, opening up through the back. With the exhale, elbows towards each other and both elbows towards my left hip. I'm not lifting extremely high, okay? It's mostly the twist. And then I'm coming back, opening up on the inhalation, exhaling, elbows towards each other, and I'm twisting a little bit towards my opposite hip. And then again, inhaling, long, steady exhale, elbows together, just a twist towards that opposite hip. Inhale, exhale. One more each side. Inhaling, exhale, contracting that abdomen in. You may be feeling it a little bit already in your core. Inhale, exhale. Think of your back plane, right? So we are working with the back chain of the body to interact with the front. Inhale there, and then with the exhale, release the legs, release the arms, and take a full breath in and out. Good, then I'm going to inhale, arms overhead, and bending your knees if you need. I'm going to roll over to one side. It doesn't matter which side you are on. I'm going to try and not say right or left, so you go with the instructions that I'm giving you from here. So the underside of your body is going to be as grounded to your blanket or mat as possible, and you're going to let the head drop into that underarm, extending the long side, the upper side of your body. Bring that upper arm up and over, and with the underhand, hold right below your wrist. And first we're going to pull, right? So that upper side is really stretching, and I'm also trying to press through that upper heel away from my body. If this feels like it's challenging to stay sidelined and you're falling over, then you can bend your under knee and you will have extra support, okay? If you can be extended, or you can even use a wall behind you, you use that. So I'm stretching and lengthening the upper line of my body far away from each other, right? My leg and my arm as much as I can. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of a wrist movement here. So you see my upper hand, I'm making a fist and I'm creating a few circles. You may hear some popping sounds, it's normal. And we are doing this actually to create more freedom and opening in the wrist joint. So go a few times, one way and the other. Good, super, nice. And then we'll release that. You keep the underarm supporting your head. I'm bringing my upper hand in front of me, and I'm going to bend my knees, both coming towards my chest. So I'm lifting them as much as I can towards the chest. And then I'm going to extend the upper leg as much as I can. Now I'm going to add a little bit of, again here, the arm that is holding your head, that's the one that is going to go to that foot that it's extended, the leg that it's extended. If the arm is not long enough, you're going to bend your knee, okay? So try and not use the belt for this one, not needed. Just bend the knee, hold the foot as much as you can. If you can press through the heel, you press through the heel, and then we're going to inhale the opposite arm up and over. If you don't have the space like me, you bend the elbow and you just drop that arm. Okay, we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. I really want you to lift the underside of the belly, the one that is towards your mat, and bring it over to the other side. Breathing in and out here, pushing through your heel, and that upper leg, you can, like I said, keep it bent. Okay, one more breath. Then with the next inhalation, I'm bringing that upper arm back and over, bending both knees. Slowly come onto your back. Exhale, release both legs. Good. And then we'll bring the arms overhead, next inhalation. And with the exhale, you roll over to the opposite side. I'm going to change myself so you can see me. Second side. I'm going to, or you do the same as me, you roll over and change, and then I'm going to the other side. My head is supported by my arm. I'm trying to straighten my body as much as I can, or keep the under leg bent if you need. And from here, I'm going to inhale, send the opposite arm up and over. Have my chair there. Good. And then with the underhand, I'm going to hold right below the wrist. First, I'm pulling both ends, so I'm pushing the upper heel away from my body, and I'm pulling the upper arm towards the north of my room. Okay, good. Then from here, make a fist with your upper hand and take a few circles with your wrist, one way, and then the other way. Just a few like that. Beautiful. Okay, and then release, bring the upper arm in front of you for support, bring both knees towards the chest, as high as they go for today, and then I'm going to extend the upper leg. Remember, you can keep the knee bent, and my underarm will go and catch the foot. It can be from the inside or outside, the one that feels comfortable. I'm still pushing through my heel, even if the knee is bent. Good, and then from there, I'm going to keep pushing through that heel. The opposite arm, the one that is airborne, it's going to go up with the inhalation and with the exhale all the way to the other side. Now I'm trying to bring my organs, my belly, my chest towards the side of the arm that was airborne, right? So not the one that is holding your leg. Breathe in and out. Dropping into your body. Notice sensations in the back. This is a big twist. And then we inhale, bringing that airborne arm back towards the front. Bend that upper knee. Come back to your back. Extend the legs. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. Then again, we bend the knees. Bring one arm over or to the side so you can roll over again. And we'll press up with our hands towards a seat. From here, I'm going to remove my blanket. Maybe we'll use it again later. And I'm going to come into the hands and knees position. So we come to the tabletop just for a moment. From here, I'm going to tuck the toes. And I'm going to extend my arms in front, pushing the mat away, sending the sitting bones up and back and bringing the chest down. Maybe the forehead or the chin are touching down. Push the mat away, feel the activation in the arms, lengthening the sides again, sitting bones going up towards the skies. 2 breaths here. 1 more breath. And then slowly walk your hands back. Keep your toes tucked and go towards your heels. So we're going to repeat mainly the same shape, but this time I'm keeping my sitting bones closer to my heels. And again, I'm sending my hands in front. It's almost like a child's pose, but my knees are not so wide. I'm keeping them a little closer to each other, so they are almost touching. And then from there, again, I'm pushing the mat away, releasing the head down, taking 2 more breaths. Opening the back chain of the body, breathing smoothly and as evenly as you can through the nose. Good. Last breath. Nice. And then slowly from here, we'll go into the downward facing dog. So I want you to pivot your fingers a little bit out, just a little bit away from each other. And from there, push the mat away, lifting through the sitting bones, lengthening the sides. So we are creating a little bit more space in between the shoulders. And from there, if you also like to have the feet a little bit wider, you can walk them out. Push the sitting bones up and back, spread through the toes, make as much space as you can in between the toes. Bring your lower ribs in, relax the head and the neck, and then slowly start activating the fronts of your legs to send the heels further back towards the back of your mat. They don't have to touch down, don't worry about that. Once you find the place where you feel like you can stay more still here, bring those front ribs in, drop the head and the neck, let the nape of the neck lengthen, the head become heavy. 1 more breath. Then slowly bend the knees, gaze forward towards your hands, and take a couple of steps to come to the top of your mat. From here, we'll inhale and come halfway up, lengthening the spine. Then exhale and fold. Press into the feet to come all the way up and come all the way with the palms up towards the ceiling. Then the hands coming down to the center and we release. Beautiful. We'll do this again, and we're also going to use it to open up our backs and the chest a lot. So from here, I'm going to start the breathing, but moving with my arms back first. Inhaling all the way up through the back first, then exhaling again and opening and diving. Inhaling, halfway lengthening the spine, lifting the belly. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, all the way up, arms opening from the back all the way. Exhaling to center. One more like this. Inhaling, arms back and up, opening the chest, strong legs. Now I'm going back first. Exhale, diving into the fold. Inhaling, half. Exhale, folding again. Arms back and up, pressing into the feet all the way. Stretch the sides, feel the power. Exhaling to center. And we release. Beautiful. One more, so we move a little more from here. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, folding. Good. This time, press your palms down, set them up for downward facing dog. We walk back one more time. Pedal your feet if you need until you settle. Just a moment here, setting the sitting bones up and back, front ribs in. Good, and then from here we'll take the danda, what we call, or the plank. Inhaling, slowly coming towards the plank. Hold it there for a moment, activating wrists and shoulder joints. Exhale, back to down dog. And again, inhale towards the plank. Exhale, down dog. One last, and then we modify, inhaling to plank. And I want all of us from here to bring the knees first down, because this develops more strength in our muscles. Lift the abdomen, bend the elbows and bring your chest forward and down. And I want you to stay here. Send the sitting bones up. The sacrum is kind of like coming into your body, but sending the sitting bones up, and the elbows, they stay close to your side chest. Lift the belly in. One more breath. And then slowly slide there on your mat, untucking the toes. Roll the shoulders, inhaling to the cobra. Exhale. Tucking the toes. Bend the knees. We go back up to downward facing dog. We'll do one more like that. Take a deep breath in first. Big exhale. And here we go. Inhaling, plank. Exhale, bring the knees down. Chest and the chin. Stay there for a moment, elbows in, roll the shoulder blades back, lift those sitting bones, belly up, and then slide. Inhaling, cobra. Exhale, release. Tuck your toes, up we go, downward facing dog. Deep breath in here, deep breath out. And from here, we'll press into the left foot to lift the right leg up. Right foot comes forward. Keep the legs toning into the midline. Firm the hips in. And from here, lengthen the front spine and bring both your hands onto your right thigh. Okay? If you need support here and you need to bring the back knee down, you do that. From here, I'm pressing my hands into the thigh. And with that, it's giving me a little bit of help to roll the shoulders back and the shoulder blades down the back, lifting the spine a little higher. You can stay here, or you can bring the arms up, adding a little more. One more breath. Exhaling, hands down, back to downward facing dog. Second side. Inhaling the left leg up and back. Exhale, left foot forward. Tone the legs in. Notice the power in between the legs, so it's almost like dragging the front foot towards the back one, lengthening the front spine, and we'll bring both hands into the front thigh first. That action will help me bring the shoulders back, the shoulder blades down, and lift the front of my spine. Breathing in here and out. And then you add, if you want, the second phase, arms up. Sacrum long, lifting through the front. Then exhale, both arms down, left leg back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Good, bring your knees down into your mat. And if you have the chair like I showed before, or your sofa or something like that, you may want to use it. We're going to do a shape here. And if not, it's okay, you can use your hands, okay? I'm just using it to activate the shape that we are going to do a little bit more. So now I'm going to lie down onto my belly. I'm going to extend my legs. And first I'm going to start with my hands under the shoulders, like the cobra pose. We're going to roll the shoulders back, press first through the tops of your feet down, roll those shoulder blades down the back, navel up, and lift into the cobra. Breathing in and out. One more. And then exhale. Good. Second time I'm going to use, if you have, you're going to follow my second version. I'm using my chair right in front of me, and I'm going to put there the base of my palm, so it's like my wrists. And I'm going to use it to help me lift a little higher. If you don't have that, you just repeat the same thing that we did, or you catch your bed or sofa, okay? From here, I'm extending through the legs, sacrum in, I'm pushing my chair away, and I'm lifting myself a little higher, shoulders down, lifting the sternum and the center of the solar plexus up. I'm not really, holding my chair, I'm just pushing with the base of my palms. One more breath. And then exhale, slowly release. Put your hands under the forehead and rest there. You can wiggle a little bit the hips from side to side. Good. Okay. Then slowly from here, bring your hands under the shoulders, bend the knees, come towards the tabletop, and we'll come to standing. Okay. Good. Shake it a little. And from here, you may need blocks. So if you have them, or at least one, have a block. You can also use a block and the wall, or the block and the chair for support. I'll show you what's coming. Good. So from here, I'm going to start with my left leg in front, the back leg behind. It looks like when we do a warrior one, so the back foot is turned in a diagonal, and my block is going to be inside the left foot. Okay? I'll show you a few versions of this. The first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to perhaps use my chair again to show you. So I'm going to put it there. So I have both my legs, my feet are supported. So from here, I'm going to put my hands onto my hips, and I'm going to lift through the spine, squeeze my glutes towards each other, and bring the chest and the belly towards the front of my mat, okay? Good, from here, I'm going to inhale my right arm up, and with the exhale, I'm going to lengthen my torso, while with my left hand, I'm pushing that left hip back, and I'm going to come with my hand all the way to my block. Now I'm going to, instead of keeping the block under my shoulder, to create more length in the right side, I'm going to send that block a little further forward, okay? So as you can see, I'm sending that block a little further. I'm still sending with my left hand, the left hip crease back to the back of the mat, and I'm lengthening the trunk as much as I can. Stay here for 2 breaths, pressing into your heels, activating the hamstrings, the fronts of your legs. One more breath. Good, and then I'm going to return with my block, so it's under my shoulder. And here, this is the opportunity to use a second support. I'm going to show with my chair. I'm using my hand onto the chair to help me lengthen again, and then push into both supports to twist towards the left. So I'm twisting over towards the front leg, right? And I'm using the chair just to show you that you could use a sofa or your bed or something in there if you need it. So I'm sending that left hip back, pressing through the feet, lengthening the spine and going with belly and chest towards the left. If you don't need that support like I'm showing, you can put that left hand onto the left hip and pushing also off that block that I have underneath. Roll the shoulders back, bring the belly and the chest up, 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 up. I don't want you to send the left arm up because I want us to concentrate more in the rotation of the belly and the chest and less on what's the upper arm doing. Send the shoulder blades back. One more breath. Exhale, coming back. Good. From there, bend the front knee. Bring the back foot forward. Take a deep breath. And then release. Good. I'm going to switch just to show the second side. Again, I'm going to use the block. This time I'm not going to use my chair. You saw that you can use extra support if you want. It can be also a wall. Now I'm going to have my right foot forward and the left foot back. Good. And then from here, I'm going to put the block inside the right foot. Okay? Good. First thing here, hands onto the hips. Tone the glutes towards each other and squeeze those glutes into your body also. So we create a lift and we are again activating from the back into the front, okay? Press through the feet, inhale the left arm up. Exhale slowly as I'm sending my right hip back, lifting the abdomen and going forward as much as I can until I find my block. And then I'm going to send my block as far out to the top of my mat as I can. Send that right hip back, back, back. Lengthen that left side a little more. Lift the belly and the ribs. Don't twist yet. Just stay there, lengthening the sides. Good. Then bring that block underneath the left shoulder. And now we'll start the work of the twist. So again, I'm sending that right hip back, roll the right shoulder back and in towards the back of your heart, and then the spinning action of the belly and the chest towards the right. Beautiful. Keep sending those shoulder blades down the back, lift the abdomen, ribs in. If you pop them out, then it will create a different shape in your back, right? So try and bring those ribs slightly in and keep sending belly and chest up, belly and chest up. Breathing here. Keep sending that right hip back. You may feel it in the hamstrings or the IT band, so bend the front knee if you need a little bit, a tiny bit. Last breath. Good, and then slowly return. Bring that left hand onto your left hip, lift up, and bring both feet together. Nice, shake it a little. Good, super. Let's move that block out. We're going to use it again soon, or maybe your chair if you have one. Feet together. And from here, I'm going to inhale and come into the Utkatasana. Now today for this Utkatasana, I want you to try and ground your outer heels and your outer hips. So imagine those 4 points moving down and back, lifting through the abdomen, and then sending the arms into the cactus shape. If you have the space, you can even extend the arms out. I have my wall here, so I can, but keep the arms either into the goalpost shape or extended. Keep lifting through the abdomen, outer heels, outer hips down, and then lifting the chest. One more breath. Then inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release. Beautiful. Let's come into the length of the mat. Now we are going to widen the feet. And in this one, I'm going to time it a little. So I want you to have a support for your head. The support for the head can be your chair, very well be in front of you, and you use it to put the head and rest there, okay? So this can be a way to do it if you have it, or if you have the blocks and it's enough, you put the blocks in front. I'm going to press through both heels, making sure that I'm stable in that wide stance. And then from there, hands to the hips, roll the shoulders back, We are lifting through the front, activating the back of the body in, coming into the fold. I'll tell you what to do with your arms when you get there. As we come down and you find the support that it's appropriate for you, send your hands to your heels or ankles and hold there. It can be maybe the shins instead. Relax there, the neck and the head. And as you stay here, and I'll tell you until when, I'm timing it, I want you to try and really release through the neck, through the head, and it should be that you feel a support, not a compression into your neck or the back of the head, okay? So make it as high or as low as it's needed. This is really a very restorative posture, even though it's active, so it has a lot of benefits. Take several long, steady breaths here in that fold. Releasing the back of the neck, toning through the legs, lifting your inner arches, spreading the toes as much as possible, grounding inner and outer heels. We are almost there. Good, then bring your hands onto your hips and pressing through the feet, elbows up, shoulder blades down, push through the feet to come all the way up. I have some news for you. We are going to repeat this with a different version. So now I'm going to be using my belt because I really like it. But if you don't have a belt or you don't want it, you can lace your fingers behind the lower back. I can do that, but I think that this version is really cool. So I'm holding a piece of my belt with my palms facing forward, right? So I'm just putting my hands inside a loop that I already had. And I'm just going to roll my shoulders back and down, shoulder blades down the back, and I'm going to extend my arms behind me. This is the way it looks, right, more or less. So you see my palms are facing my back body, okay? So I'm having that shape there. I'm widening the feet. I'm rolling the shoulders back. I'm pushing my belt down and away from me. And I'm going to try and keep that at all times. And again, I'm going to time this forward fold. So from here, we inhale and lift, exhale and fold. Keep those arms pushing into the belt, shoulder blades down the back, release the head, release the neck. And take a few cycles here, trying to make your breath steady, going into the back body. It's not going to be too long, but try to stay here, softening the breath and staying with the attention into that breath. To slow down a little and take anxiety off or away from your mind. 10 more seconds. Beautiful. And then pressing through the feet, use your core. So lift that lower belly up, keep pushing your belt away and lengthen the spine to come up. Slow, 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 slow. Beautiful. Then take that belt out to the side, heel toe your feet and shake it a little. Beautiful. Okay, super. From here, we are going to come back onto our mats. I'm going to show a shape that it can be super beneficial if you have a chair or your sofa to do it. If you want, instead of this, because it requires a little bit of a setup, you can use your wall and you'll bring your legs up the wall for a moment. And for this one, I'm going to be using my pillow. I have a little bit of a long pillow here. And I'm going to use my chair as well, okay? If not, like I said, bring your hips to the wall, legs up the wall, or a block under the sacrum and you'll send your legs up. For me, in this one, what I'm going to do is a little bit more complicated. I'm going to sit on my chair and put my legs right on top of the backrest. It's a little bit of an engineering thing here. And then slowly, I'm going to start coming onto my support, and that support is going to be under my shoulders. So what happens here is that I have to walk myself until I find the edge of the seat. This is a supported shoulder stand. And then I'm making sure that my shoulders have that extra support there. My hands, if you're doing the chair thing, I'm going to send them inside my chair, and I'm going to hold the legs of the chair, of the bridge of the chair as much as I can. My sacrum is what's supported in my chair. You see that there's a back bend there, shoulder blades towards each other. And then from there, slowly, first I'm staying with my feet pressing into the backrest. This is a super good posture for your whole system. And if you're cool and okay with sending the legs up, you'll send the legs up. We stay for 5 breaths. Just with the benefits of this big opener. The neck should not be tense at all. If you're taking the shape with your block, you can just have the block underneath the sacrum, the coccyx, and lift the legs up. And you create the same action in your upper back by moving your arms away from your chest and sending the shoulder blades to be tucked under your heart. One more breath here. This is a super big posture with a lot of benefits for your immune system. Legs up the wall or the block are the modifications that go along super well instead of this one if it looks scary, okay? Then slowly, I'm going to bend the knees, placing my feet back so I find my chair again. For the ones who are in the chair, I'm going to release my hands. The way out, it's a little tricky, just in the sense that we don't want to tense the neck of or the head. So I'm just going to slide myself out slowly. My mat doesn't slide, so it's a little hard. And then from there, I'm going to let my legs rest on the chair and put my arms out to the sides and rest here for a moment. If you are doing the block version, just bring your feet down, touch down onto your mat, take the block out from your pelvis, and rest on your back for a moment. Two more breaths. For the ones who were using a chair like me, I'm going to slowly roll over to the side and come out so I can just take my supports out, okay? If you are lying down on your mat, just stay there for a moment. We'll take the Baddha Konasana shape with the soles of the feet together, the knees wide, right hand onto the belly, left hand onto the heart center. We take 3 cycles breathing here, returning to the source of everything. Slowing down, pause, softening the skin. One more breath. Then slowly with the hands, bring the knees towards each other. Extend the legs towards the top of your mat. Bring the arms alongside your torso. And if you need to wiggle or add any props or anything for you to take Shavasana, the resting posture, please do so. We'll come to the last part of the practice. So if you have the pillows or the blankets and you want to set yourself up with extra support, please do so. For the ones practicing with me live, you know that by the end of the rest, I'll tell you when we are done. If you're just practicing with the video recorded, you take your time, resting, resetting before finishing your practice.